Today's topic is going to be about body movement, why people are moving during the shot. Lots of professionals talking that stay still on the shot, stay still on the shot. Steve Davis, Stephen Hendry, Ronnie O'Sullivan, anyone who is playing snooker at the high level. But we have to understand the real reasons why amateur or even professional players are moving during the shot, and also solutions how to fix it. So let's do it. Okay, so let's start with blue up the spot shot, and I'm gonna come to the shot slightly off straight line. So the first reason why people are moving during the shot that they are aiming offline, and then with their cue action they are compensating so they could pot the ball. So let's say I'm aiming now slightly off straight line, standing to the left, I'm coming to the shot, and now I'm aiming red ball slightly to the left of the side pocket, middle pocket, yeah? So some people, through experience and practice, learn that you see actually with your brain, not your eyes. So if I'm slightly straight offline, I need to do body movement to pot the ball. So it's like Judd Trump. He's a left-hand player, so I'm gonna show how he does. Aims with right-hand side, and on impact, does a slight body movement, and then he pots the ball. So this is on straight shot, looks like this, like I'm again aiming to the left, and my subconscious realizing that I need to pull the cue off straight line, so now I'm pulling cue to the right. In that case I can pot the ball even if I'm aiming here. So some players are really good with this, and even some professionals are doing that. And your subconscious is a very powerful tool. It learns, even if you're not correct, it learns how to do that. And some players are doing better than others. And that's one of the reasons why people moving during the shot. And let's talk about the angle shot. Let's say I have black up the spot. So normally you come on the straight angle and you pot without any kind of body movement. But let's say if you aim too straight right here, let's say you play black up the spot, any ball, I'm just using as a reference, and normally you want to aim here. But let's say if you are aiming thickish, like this, and now I'm aiming ball there, so I need to move my body to the left subconsciously, and use touch of right hand side, and use correct timing, which means slower speed to pot the ball. If I'm gonna be slightly using not correct timing for that shot, every single time I'm gonna miss thick. That's why I'm moving slightly more during the shot if I'm aiming thick. So I need to push my cue inside, use right hand side, and in that way slightly move my head to pot the ball. So the second reason is, so even on angle shots or straight shots, if you're slightly off straight line, you need to compensate with your cue action to pot the ball. So if your aiming is off, your cue action needs to be slightly off so you could pot the ball. So that's the first reason why people moving during the shot. Right, so if I'm aiming thick, let's say subconsciously, I need to compensate with the body move. So I need to apply right hand side, pull the cue back inside, and do this. I'm just exaggerating, but in the club world, you see lots of people, if they learn to play certain shots off straight line, they compensate where their cue action to pot the ball. And that's a very, very common reason why players moving during the shot, even if the advice from the professionals are really good, but there is reasons why people are moving. So now let's go to another part of the why people are moving during the shot. So another very common reason, players have not enough follow-through distance from their right arm to the chest, little follow-through. And when they play power shots, they need to do two things, either lift their shoulder and get through the ball, or drop their elbow. So I'm gonna show you both ways. So let's say if I have a very short grip here, and have a little room, and I want to play a power shot, let's say power screw back, yeah? I need to make a slight body move so I could push the ball through the ball. Push cue through the ball, I mean. And another thing, if the hand is here, I need to drop my elbow to push like that. So this is possible. Even some players can make century breaks, some players can make easily 50 breaks, but that's a reason why they are moving during the shot, because there is not enough space from their back arm to the chest. So often you see in the club world when the players are having that kind of distance from their right arm to the chest, to push through the ball, the head is going up subconsciously, you know. And if they try to keep still, they can do for a couple of shots, but then in that case they are hitting to the chest very hard, and their timing is getting even worse. So let's say I keep myself still. So they feel lots of tension in their back arm naturally. So this is another reason why players moving during the shot. Right, so another reason why players moving during the shot is that their stance is unbalanced or unstable, yeah? So let's say normally you stand like this, like shoulder distance apart, which usually give you a nice base for the shot. But sometimes players are standing narrow, and when they play a shot, they could move their body to the left for the right-hand players, and to the right, the left-hand players. Let's say I'm coming to the shot and I have a narrow stance. I don't feel any stability from the left side of the body, and especially if I'm gonna play a power shot, I feel that how my left leg is moving, which makes my body also lift and move during the shot. It's a very common thing, especially let's say if you play angle shots, let's say like this, and you're coming to the table like that. Don't feel any stability from the left side of the table, and I play power. So automatically I want to move my body a little bit more than I usually do, which can throw me offline. Even if I potted the ball, it's still not ideal, and I can not be as consistent as I do normally. Grip also makes players move off balance. So the first reason that they have a very tight grip, so when you have a tight grip, your whole arm muscle is getting tight, and it's very difficult to have a fluent movements. That's another topic. But basically, you know, if you have a very tight grip, the cue action becomes rigid, and you are more likely to hit chest hard, especially on the power shots, and move your body slightly more. You can still pot the ball, but you cannot expect that you're going to have a nice stability. So, you know, you can, certain players, even another reason with grip is they're squeezing, doing this, because of the way they hold the grip is not correct for them. That's another topic, but grip also makes your body move a straight line if you are very tight, or the form, the shape how you're holding is not correct for you. So let's say I'm gonna hold badly for myself like this, and for me, I am automatically want to lift up to pot the ball, otherwise I'm gonna miss the shot. So that's the fourth reason. And now I want to give you solutions how to simply fix that. So how to know your proper distance from your back arm to chest. So basically imagine that cue ball is like your follow through length position, and you want to have at least 15 centimeters, like at least 7 inches through the ball. So you come to the shot, and if you have too short, usually to the chest, you're going to have a little follow through. So you want to put your back arm a little bit further back. Recommendation is that your right leg follows your right arm like that. That's a good indicator that you have a proper distance from your bridge hand to your back arm. And you play the shot like this. And this kind of follow through gives you more freedom to deliver cue without any unnecessary body movement. So let's say I have now room. Just like that. Chest contact is just enough to keep your body more still to the shot. About the stance, I already made a video about the stance, how to find your proper stance, but basically you want stability and balance. So what I recommend for you is just keep shoulder distance apart. Somebody like to stand square, somebody like to stand side on. There are various positions on the table where you have to change that, but to make it more simple, just make sure that you are about shoulder distance apart from your body type. Taller guys, I recommend to be a little bit wider. Shorter guys can be a little bit more compact. But basically the idea is to keep show the distance apart or slightly more. Usually what is less makes your body slightly off balance. It really doesn't matter, are you with the slightly bent leg like Kyren Wilson, or you are straight leg like a classical stance. The point is, I think, is to keep your both legs shoulder distance apart, and that gives you more stability. And when you play a shot, you can test yourself, play full power, and try to keep the body still. If you are narrow set, usually it makes you move and hit chest hard, and if you are more balanced, it keeps your body way more consistently stable. And the grip, nothing here spectacularly, neutral feel. You don't want to squeeze grip that way that your arm muscles getting tight right here. You want to have a feeling that it's a neutral feeling, but the cue is not falling from your arms. I'm going to make a separate video about the grip, how to find your grip, but for the sake of simplicity, a neutral feel. And when you play the shot, you want to keep that neutrality going on. And that really helps you to play the shots a little bit more consistent and also stay still on the shot.